We have done the node pool member and the virtual server creation. As a next step, what is that we need to do is let's try to generate the traffic from the external PC and send it to the LTM server, LTM virtual server, and see how the traffic is flowing through. So I have my external PC as 192.168.145.10, but in diagram it is given as 202.203.10.10, whereas in my setup I have 192.168.145.10. So from that client PC, I'm going to be sending the traffic to 192.185.35.86.80. So it will be selecting one of the pool member to distribute the load. So let's see how this is happening. Now let's go to the external PC. Check it out. The PC's IP address is as per the configuration, as per the setup. So 192.168.145.10. So now let's open up the browser. Any browser we can open up. So Mozilla Firefox is there on my client machine. So to which IP address we need to send the traffic? 192.185.35.86. So the request needs to be given to 192.185.180. 185.35.86. Let's see whether the request is being forwarded to it or not. Yep. So you can see that one. Welcome to second Slitask Blue web server. So we have four web servers over there. Each and every web server is identified by their colors: red, blue, green, and yellow. So the request has been given to 192.168.185.35.86. According to our setup, we have the servers. Can you see this one? The server number 2 has been named as Blue Web Server. Log in and check it out. Is that the web server running with the blue web page? So I'm opening up my browser, internet. Where is my browser? Any web browser can be opened up. Let's go and check it out. The local host. See, this is the blue web server. Whereas if you go to the other web servers, you can see that they are running with a different web pages. Like this is going to be running with red. So based on some algorithm, we don't know what algorithm it is. So as we move forward, we will try to understand what are all the possible algorithms and what is the benefit of doing them. Local host, you can see it is running with. So you can see that it is running with red web server. So every web server has been associated with a color code. So it has chosen one of the web server from the pool. So in pool, all four pool members have been referred. So go to the external PC and then try to refresh it. I can see a different server altogether. So we know the purpose of LTM is what? It receives the traffic from the client and it is going to be identifying one of the pool members from the pool which is mapped to the virtual server according to the load distribution algorithm, and then the request is being forwarded to it. But how the server knows to which of the IP address it is needs to respond, or how the client knows that to which of the server it is being sent, we don't have any idea about it. So if you see the packet flow from the client PC, the traffic is given to 192.185.35.86 on port number 80. The LTM receives it. Based on the algorithm, one of the server from the pool has been chosen. So when the packet has been received by the LTM, the original IP address is the client IP address. The original destination IP address is 192.185.35.86. Once I have selected the server from the pool member to which the request has to be forwarded, the LTM is going to be modifying the destination IP address from 192.185.35.86 to the server's IP address. So for example, this is my blue server, so the IP address is going to be modified to 10.2.0.2. When the web server receives the traffic, it sees that the request is coming from the original IP. So that is the reason the server needs to be configured with the respective gateways. The gateway is supposed to be the LTM's internal interface where the server is connected to. So it applies the default gateway to reach 192.168.145.10, which is nothing but my client PC. So when the server receives the request, it sees that the request is coming from the client PC with an IP address of 192.168.145.10. How the server could reach back that client PC, it has to check the routing table of the server. It may not be having the specific route, but it has the default gateway. The default gateway is nothing but 10.2.0.4. So it is forwarding the traffic to 10.2.0.254. The LTM receives the traffic and it sees that the response is coming from this blue web server. It has the detail and it modifies the source IP address now, because the response will be having the source IP address as 10.2.0.2. When it is being forwarded to the client, the source IP address is going to be modified as what? 192.185.35.86. So as if like the request is coming from the server which is hosted on the LTM. So from client's perspective, the service is running on the LTM, whereas the LTM knows on which of the server the services are running, to which server the request has to be forwarded. Okay, so the LTM sits between the client and server. It is going to be acting like a proxy, but the client IP address is not going to be modified when the request is being received. Only the destination IP address of the received packet is going to be modified and sent to the respective server. So this is how the traffic is going to be flowing through your LTM. So in this session, what is that we have seen? So the flow is what? The client generates the HTTP traffic to Genesis.com. The source IP address is 202.203.10.10. The destination IP address is 192.185.35.86. The client port number is going to be always greater than 1023. The destination port number is going to be TCP 80. LTM receives the client request, checks the virtual server to which this IP address is mapped to. Once that is done, it chooses one of the pool member according to the load balancing algorithm. Then the destination address is translated to the chosen server IP address. So it receives the traffic, forwards the request to the server. You can see that the source IP remains same, whereas the destination IP has been modified. Right? The server is going to be responding back to the client request. So obviously we need to make sure that you have the default gateway configured on the server. LTM receives the response from the server. It modifies the address, like it is coming from 10.2.0.1, but it has to be modified to the original server, virtual server IP address, which is 192.185.35.86. The destination IP address remains same, 202.203.10.10, and the chosen client port is going to be there. So it forwards the response to the client. So this is how the flow between the client and the server through your LTM is happening. So because of this, the LTM can be modified in such a way that it can identify an effective server to which the load can be given to. So in this session, what is that we have understood? We understood what is a node and how to configure a node. What is a pool, how to configure a pool. What is a pool member and how to configure a pool member. And what is a virtual server and what is the use case of it and how to configure it. We also understood the packet flow. So that is the end of this session.